I love selling real estate, and I'm good at it. I love combing through the listings and helping each client find their dream home. I think what makes me effective is that I can read people, so I don't waste their time showing them houses that I know they're not gonna like. I'll be honest, I'm not sure why I would need to worry about violating fair housing laws or code of ethics. I care about my clients, and I wouldn't dream of treating anyone unfairly just because of who they are.
The fictional agent you just heard from obviously means well. She knows how important she is to her clients, and she cares a lot about her job. So why would she be in a position where she may violate the Fair Housing Act or the Realtor's Code of Ethics? Hi, I'm Efua Otto, Deputy Director of Programs and Training with the Perception Institute. We're working with the National Association of Realtors to help real estate professionals overcome barriers to fair housing and to create a culture of inclusion and belonging. Your role is so important to the lives of people who rely on your expertise to guide them during one of the most important decisions of their lives. Let's get back to the real estate agent. She shared with us that what makes her effective as an agent is figuring out what homes people want, reading people, and not wasting their time. But how does she do that? The risk is she may make assumptions about people that are based on their race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, ability, and/or other social identities. You may be thinking, why would she do that? Doesn't she know that's wrong? To understand how this can happen, how people who value fairness and equity can treat each other differently based on race, ethnicity, gender, ability, and other categories, we need to understand how our unconscious brains can prevent us from realizing our conscious values and goals. Look at this image. How many triangles do you see? Usually, people see anywhere from 1 to 13, but the answer is actually 0. A complete triangle has 3 sides, and none of these triangles are complete. However, when you looked at the image, your brain automatically filled in the lines and completed the triangle without your awareness. Why? Because of the associations our brains make. In fact, our brains fill in missing information constantly based on ideas and images we pick up over our lifetimes. We all do this, and we need to. Without this process, we would be overwhelmed by the massive amounts of information coming at us every second. Our unconscious brain uses assumptions as shortcuts to help us make our way in the world, and often this serves us well. But our assumptions can sometimes be wrong, particularly when we are interacting with people from groups we may not be familiar with. So where do we get our ideas about these groups? Often they come from the media, movies, television, social media, what we read, hear, and see. Over decades, some groups in our culture have been shown in primarily negative ways. When we don't have personal experiences with these groups, these stereotypes are all our brain has to go on when we need to use mental shortcuts to fill in information gaps. Now, how does this affect our thinking and behavior? Our reliance on stereotypes can impact our behavior in many ways. Research has shown that people tend to judge other people's behavior differently based on stereotypes about different races, ethnicities, and gender groups. So, if someone is running late for work who is part of one group, people may say they have hit traffic or been held up at an important meeting. But if they are in another group, the person running late may then be described as not taking their responsibilities seriously. Just as we did with the triangle, we often fill in gaps in our knowledge about an individual person with assumptions that we picked up about the group they belong to. Let's come back to the agent describing how she does her job, how she judges instinctively which houses would be right for a particular client. When she is doing that, she may well be relying on unconscious assumptions about people that she isn't even aware of. We call this implicit bias. Be sure to watch our next video in this 3-part series to learn how implicit bias can result in fair housing and code of ethics violations that may harm others and undermine the experience of purchasing a home. Dive deeper by taking NAR's Bias Override Classroom course. To learn more, visit nar.realtor and search Bias Override: Overcoming Barriers to Fair Housing.